Betty Ross, aka the Red She-Hulk, probably about the only other Hulk besides Bruce Banner's Hulk who gets as strong, as fast when she gets angry as he does. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Red wasn't around long, but bruh, this girl got some feats on her if you really look at her. In her first appearance, we saw her snap She-Hulk's neck. And considering She-Hulk is strong enough to throw hands with characters like Ben Grimm, The Thing, and The Abomination, this in and of itself is already impressive. Later on, she was even able to 1v2 She-Hulk and the Hulk's daughter, Lyra. Again, this is showing an incredible level of strength that she is able to face off against two Hulk-level beings by herself. But again, if that wasn't impressive enough, she was absolutely clowning on characters like Wolverine and an evil Leonard Samson, a dude just like Wolverine who has been running fades with the Hulk for years. And for all intents and purposes, Leonard Samson is basically a gamma-powered super soldier. And well, she was whooping Wolverine's ass so bad, this man decided to shock himself using a railway to try to shock her, which didn't even stop her. And well, when it comes to Samson, she was choking the life out of that brother Samson and probably would have killed that man had it not been for MODOK. And again, Samson ain't nothing to play with. But the ridiculousness of this red woman does not stop there. When Red She-Hulk had to go face off against an Avengers team to try to kidnap Hank Pym, was the first time she came across the Hulk's son, Scar. And Scar wields a giant sword like he Conan or something. And when he went to try to cut her in half, she caught that shit with her bare hands and proceeded to start beating the hell out of that boy. Like, I really need to put this emphasis. She was whooping his ass. And it also needs to be said that neither Bruce Banner nor his son Scar realized that Red She-Hulk is Betty Ross. So Scar has no reason to take it easy on this woman. And yeah, when it comes to even prep time, she realized that the Hulk son Scar has something called the old power. And so she went up to her people and was like, hey man, let me get something to handle that. They gave her something to handle that. And she stabbed him up with it, which completely kept him from using that ability. And well, without this man having the ability to essentially earthbend, yeah, she whooped his ass and then stabbed him in the chest. Like guys, when I tell y'all her consistency against a character as powerful as Scar is consistent, not only that, when Scar was at his most powerful, old power in full effect, fighting the World Breaker Hulk, he hit her ass right in the chest. And even though she went flying and slamming into a building, she was literally up seconds later trying to help people evacuate. Yeah, people might think because she's a She-Hulk, she not like this, but this is a bona fide Hulk. I mean, Machine Man notes that he almost drains his power cell just trying to get her to let go of somebody. Hell, when we look at before Red Hulk even knew that Red She-Hulk was his daughter, she was able to catch this man off guard and yoke his ass up on top of a train and start whooping on him. And sure, after landing some pretty devastating right hooks across She-Hulk's jaw, Red Hulk was able to gain control of this situation, but again, he didn't know that this was his daughter. He had no reason to pull these punches. Really, his only reason to pull punches was just to get the information of who the hell she even was, which was an answer that he got when she displayed one of her other powers that he also has, the ability to drain energy off of people, as she drains the gamma radiation straight up out that man, turning him back into General Ross. And when I tell you, you do not want a woman like She-Hulk gripping your ass up like that, you don't want her gripping your ass up like that, considering she's able to completely crush a heavily amped Abomination's throat with her bare hands, as well as taking heavy headbutts to the face from this guy. But again, when this woman really needs to put her foot down, you gon' feel it. And the person who probably has felt it the most, her husband, the Incredible Hulk. Yeah, these two run fade. And sure, Hulk ain't always trying to kill her ass, but Hulk also don't necessarily like her ass. he ain't got no issue laying her ass out. But I mean, it's gonna be kind of difficult to do that when you're getting hit with thunderclaps powerful enough to cause tidal waves. I mean, if I'm gonna be real, her thunderclaps match his thunderclaps, blow for blow. But even when the Hulk gets his angriest, the World Breaker, so angry that his mere existence is just causing shit like this to happen, so angry that he's almost nigh unstoppable, there's only one person who can actually contest this dude. Betty Ross. She's strong enough to actually cut through this dude's skin while not using any type of enchanted sword. It won't even say this thing was vibranium or adamantium or nothing. And if that's not impressive enough, when that man completely loses his mind, and when she, like him, turns into a World Breaker Hulk, she has been the only person to be able to survive his attacks. Those attacks being able to destroy the Dark Dimension, not just once, but because of a magical wish-granting well on Earth, bringing the Dark Dimension back every time it's destroyed. These two throwing hands with each other, their shockwaves completely annihilated the Dark Dimension every time they threw an individual attack, obliterating everyone and everything in the Dark Dimension. And these ain't just some nobodies. A lot of these beings in here have at least base Hulk level durability. But it doesn't even matter. And the craziest thing is that this even suggests that both of these two would have just fought forever in a universe being brought back over and over by this wish-granting well. So we're talking about incalculable levels of strength and endurance, as well as durability. And what if I told y'all this wasn't even the craziest thing she has done? Y'all remember earlier when I was talking about her first fight with Scar? Well, what if I told y'all she broke through reality and dimensions to whoop his ass? Yeah, when she was chasing Pym and them fools down, they decided to close this door and basically make it so that they were in a different dimension than she was entirely. I'm oversimplifying, but Amadeus could explain it better. But yeah, they essentially shut Shorty off in a different dimension. And what does she do? She punches her way back into their dimension. Yep, she just punches her way through dimensions, guys. And she wasn't even nowhere near as angry as she was when she was fighting Hulk. And well, when you add in the fact that she can absorb energy, depending on the power source and how much energy she absorbs, you could end up with a 250-foot tall World Breaker She-Hulk capable of stepping on a dragon as big as Fin Fang Foom. Yeah, man, this woman is absolutely ridiculous. And she done thrown hands with the best of them. The Hulks, the Avengers, like 150 Marine Red Hulks, and a whole lot of other characters. And sure, I think Betty Ross as the Harpy and Red Harpy is cool, but if there was anything that I just pray that Marvel brings back, it's Betty Ross as the Red She-Hulk. Cause man, when you just look at her as a character and how this woman who's felt like she's always had to shrink herself just to be able to exist around either a man who is always destroying stuff or another man who is always destroying stuff but for the good of the country, yeah, it definitely makes sense as to why she is so strong as a Hulk. Cause she's probably the only person in Marvel who's just as angry as Bruce Banner. So yeah, man, this chick is an absolute beast. And man, Marvel, do us that favor. Bring her back. Let's see her in the MCU or something. But with that being said, how do y'all feel about it? Do y'all think we should see Red She-Hulk in the MCU? Let me know down in the comments. And with that being said, Excelsior War Corps. I'm Marshall T. I'll catch y'all later.